Hi, it's Esther at the Trucking Scribe. It's great to see you. Today we're doing Psalms 3. We're going to talk about Psalms 3 and see what David had going on in his life. He was being overthrown by his son, and there's quite a bit of context to this one, so I hope you'll join me. We're also going to look at this. So today what I've done is I put the red on and I did this part. And I don't show a lot of it because it's just sitting here stitching. But I hope you stay and see all the video. So we're up to week 3 in our Psalms Bible study. We are reading the book of Psalms on Fridays and kind of doing a little Bible study on them. And we started with 1, so we're going to end with the 150th. I say 150th. I better check and make sure that yeah. So here, we'll finish here in, at this rate, probably 2.5 to 3 years. But that's okay because that gives me time to study a little better. So today we're talking about Psalms 3, which is a psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. So in Psalms 3, what's going on in David's life is that he is being overthrown by Absalom, his son. His son's trying to kill him, and everyone in David's kingdom feels like God's not there for David anymore. David even kind of feels that way himself at the beginning of this psalm. So Psalms 3 is a song reflecting David's heart at this time. So he's very upset. He's feeling lost. He's running for his life. He's scared. And Selah, I'm not sure how you say that word, but it means pause. So when we get to that, that's going to mean that David is taking a small pause or a break to catch his breath and maybe think over what he's saying. So he goes on and talks about, oh, you, O Lord, are my shield, not a prayer, but a declaration. So it changes from a prayer to a, this is the way it is, and I know it. So then David, with all this going on, he sleeps all night out in the wilderness, and he's at peace. So I do have a few little things to say about that when we get there. We're going to talk a little bit about how Psalms 3 verse 4 pictures God on top of a holy mountain and David down in the lowest part of the world, the Jordan Rift, which is 2,500 feet below. So let's read Psalms real quick. This Psalm's not real quick. O Lord, how many are my foes? Many are rising against me. Many are saying of my soul, there is no salvation for God, for him in God. So here's where the people are talking about David's just out of luck now. You know, God's not going to help him. He's so far down. But then David has a pause here, a time to think. And because David was feeling the same way as the people, that God had given up on him. But he takes time to breathe and catch his breath and just think and mediate in God's word. Then he goes on, but you, O Lord, are a shield about me, my glory and the lifter of my head. But when Absalom took over the kingdom and overthrew David, David left with no feet, no shoes on his feet, and his head was covered, so he was hiding. So God, but you, O Lord, are a shield about me, my glory and the lifter of my head. So that's what he's saying is, I've left the kingdom in shame, but you're lifting me up. I cried aloud to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy hill. There again, that's where we're talking about Mount Zion is where God's holy hill is. God is pictured atop Mount Zion, 2,500 feet above sea level, and David is in the Jordan Rift, 2,500 feet below sea level. God is at the highest place and David is at his lowest, but this doesn't keep God from David or David from God. And that is found in the introduction to Psalms book that I've been reading on page 55. So God is up there on the highest part of the earth or the world or the universe, and David is at his lowest. He can't get any lower at this point, but he cries out to God because he knows God is hearing him. And another pause, Selah. So now David's out in the wilderness and running for his life. He does have some of his army with him, not his full army, but he has some confidants and people there. And he says, I lay down and slept. I woke again, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of many thousands of people who have set themselves against me all around. Right there, when you go to sleep, and this is something that I definitely struggle with, you're trying to go to sleep and you got all these worries in your mind, and you're worrying and worrying, and what is that going to do? You're not trusting in God. And my mom always says, you need to pray to God and give it to him. That's what David did. And here, God sustains us in our sleep, but we take it for granted. Think of it. You are asleep, unconscious, dead to the world, yet you breathe, your heart pumps, your organs operate. The same God who sustains us in our sleep will sustain us in our difficulties. This was a quote out of the book. I'm going to put, I don't see it right here beside me. I thought I had brought it, but I'm going to put it up in the corner so you'll know what the name of this book is. And it was around page 55 that I wrote this quote. So, when we're asleep, we're basically don't know anything that's going on around us, so we're trusting in God. And some of that says, well, if you're not able to sleep, you're not trusting in God. And I wonder sometimes, because I know I struggle with going to sleep a lot. Just too many things going on, too many thoughts racing through your head. But if you look at David, he has all these people, many thousands of people who are against him, but he went to sleep and he trusted God and slept and got up the next morning. Here it says, arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for you strike all my enemies on the cheek, you break the teeth of the wicked. Salvation belongs to the Lord, your blessings be on your people. Selah. So it just, when you read this and you don't know the story behind it of Absalom overthrowing David, Absalom is his son, is David's son, and he overthrew him. David feels just like all the rest of us. He just feels like the world's against them and nobody cares. But you know what? Even if nobody cares, God's there, and that's what this is saying. God is there. When you feel at your lowest, just talk to him and cry out. Because see here, I cried aloud to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy hill. So cry out to God, and he will answer you. Maybe not in the way that you're expecting, but he will be there. He always is. So just a quick little aside to this. If you've been following my other Bible study, The Beauty of God, this month, I made this here, and you see how easily it came out. I keep trying to figure out a way to do this that it would stay in this cover, but it's not wanting to stay for me. I even laminated the page. I put washi tape. My other pages are staying. It's the covers that are giving me the problem. So I'm thinking, since I plan on having all of these Psalms together, I'm going to move this over here. And it's not any much shorter, but it is a little bit wider. So this is just one that I already have. It's from, you can see the pages I'm using from 2021. I have all these bright ideas for planners, and then just happens. Nothing in them. So what I'll be doing like this here. I don't need that anymore. I could cover it up with some bright red washi tape, which I don't know. We can try it. But today what we're going to do is Friday, and I still am working on, that's why I got the red. I'm still working on this. So I'll probably do something different right there. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know in case I forgot that I'm going to be putting this in here. So it will still be in there, but the covers are a little bit sturdier. And y'all, I made these the other day. I did a video on this, and I got the idea from Amber over at Lyric Lovers Crafts. It's a regular piece of paper made into an envelope or ephemera holder with laminating on it. I'm going to try and get these filled with some ephemera and list them in my Etsy shop for sale. So I got some sewing ones. This is going to be my theme for next month is sewing. This is this month. These really turned out really good. So I did try. Thought, why not use this heavy cardstock? And it works, but it kind of ripples the paper, but it still is nice. This one you can see a little bit more. I don't know if it's because the paper is thicker and it doesn't let it kind of, see. So I don't know if that came from the everything, because I glued the edges down on these just to get it to do better. You can't see it on this one, on these where I've done it, but I can see it right here. So that's another thing on that. If you tried these brown cardstock, may not work. So this one did just fine, and it's scrapbook paper. And I did the same thing as I did the others. So there is a video on all this. Like I said, I will be getting some of this up in my shop so that I can share them. So we're still working on this. So I need to get some thread out because I don't know where my other little piece is. I think it's in my purse. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know. So this thread is more like a yarn of thread or a skein or a hank of knitting thread. I'm trying to find the middle. Maybe I could get it around this bottle and get it. It just is not. Maybe right here. And get it apart. Or does it open up another way? Okay. See, this is what happened with my other skein, is trying to figure out how to get in here. I still got, see, there's still more there that I need to get apart. So this is a problem with this for me. I don't know if it would be a problem for you, but it is for me. So I'm thinking about doing, see, and this is what I did last time, is I just cut it because it's already, what I was going to do with my bottles was wrap this around. So now I'm just going to pull one thread at a time out. See if I can't figure out a way to make this a little less messy. I don't know that it's possible, but I'm going to set it over here. I'll go through it later. So last week, and I have not got to work on this week. We got this one on actually sewn. We got these that look really good this week. It's been a week since I've got it out, so that's still on there, showing up really well. So what I was wanting to do, let's see if I can get this. I may have too long of a piece. We'll see. For some reason, I've just got red in my mind, and I am not a red person. I was saying maybe I'm thinking now I may do it like in the middle and do something else on the outside ones. But we'll see. So I have this red, And I'm looking for this little spot right there is where I want to put something. I just grabbed some stuff out of my box over there. So that one would fit. I do have this I could put on there too. What I could do is follow those lines. But I don't know if I like that or not. Let's see the other side. That's a little better. So I could do that, and then I could sew down those lines. I've ironed this on both sides. I could put it something like that, where it kind of overlaps each other. Trim that off. So we may wind up having that just a little bit longer, but let me see. Both sides are kind of uneven, aren't they? Okay, right there I think would work. I think I like that. I'm glad. So instead of doing this part, we're now going to do the lines on here. I think, yeah. And I'm just going to leave it shaggy, and I'm going to take a little bit of this, try and glue it down. And it doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just trying to get it to hold it down while I'm sewing this. So I don't know that I need all of it. That's the thing. Well, I think it right in there would go. Trying to get it over where I could see that little black, but I want to go this way so we can see the black. That might be the better idea. So I hope y'all have had a good week. I have. So what I'm going to do is trying to pull this out just a little bit right there. I think that will work right there. You need to go over a little bit. So I don't know if I'm going to get this done before I leave or not. I might, because, really it's not taking a lot of time so far. It's just that I got so many things going on. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I think, is go right up straight through the middle here. Right out there is where I can feel that glue. Might not have been a great idea, but this starry silk is pretty thin, so maybe it will not be too much of a problem. So already my stitches are getting different lengths. I like this look. So what I could do is go in. I could use that as my template to get my stitches. I like patterns because you can do that. Oh yeah, they look much better now. So what I'm doing is I'm going in here and I'm coming out at the next row on this side, because this side's a little bit different. So I'm just going, I picked the right side, although that one seems a little bit wobbly. Okay. So I guess right here I need to decide. I'm going to trim this off. Yeah, this is just way too long, so I'm going to have to cut those in half, I think. I'll have to let you know what I figure out when I get to that, because I'm going to do something with it off camera, but okay, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I'm just taking it as it goes. I would like to have another stitch there, but I don't know that I can. So I'm wondering about doing it a little bit closer, maybe right there. Have a longer stitch, because I'm not liking the shorter ones. I don't think I'm going to take that out either. I'm going to leave it in. No, I'm just flipping and flopping, sorry. Yeah, I like the longer ones better like that. Maybe not quite get so close in. Okay, I'm getting to the end of this. I want that cut shorter because I want to leave my raw edges too, but I don't want to cover up our little white edge right there that we went through so much trouble to get. I'm not sure I like this particular pattern right here because it looks like a spine or something, and it's just not getting my approval yet. It may grow on me, but not yet. All right, what I can do is come back and do some more stuff to it. Is what can be done. So now let's see how we can do this. What if I go like in the middle, get like half a stitch, like that, where it's not going all the way top to bottom. I'll like that. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make my own pattern from what's on the fabric. And I actually like doing that quite a bit. It just helps bring out the whatever pattern is on your fabric. So this is going to be kind of slow. I'm doing one stitch at a time because of the way it's going. Just okay because I'm liking that better. Hoping I'm going to like that middle better right here, but we'll see. Well, I'm thinking about what I can do with it because, I mean, we can still go back in and sew more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this a little bit and I will come back and, because what I'm going to do this stitch right here all the way across. Okay, so I am back. Here is our one side. It's going to be a purse. So I'm thinking I really like this red. And I went ahead and left the little spine thing. I did do this part. I'm thinking I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that might need some fabric up there. Maybe not a big piece, but just like a small little piece to bring in the color. Let's see, I got a little blue one here, but I don't think I'd use it. Let's see what it looks like. Just thinking that this fabric just looks so good that I could do like a small piece to break this up. But I really like the red. I'm thinking I'm going to do some French knots here. But we're going to stop here for today, and I hope that you guys have a great weekend. It'd be great if you hit the subscribe button, like button, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you thought about the songs, if you ever had trouble sleeping or and just too much going on. It's hard to sleep. Let me know what you do. So thank you guys and have a great weekend.